Let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Florida's first out gay Latino lawmaker says Florida can still be saved from Ron DeSantis. Guillermo Smith, Florida's first out gay Latino lawmaker, was elected as the Democratic representative to the Florida Legislature in 2016, just months after the post-nightclub shooting in his districts in Orlando. Now he is running to represent a newly redrawn Senate district in the same area, including Union Park in East Orlando, where he lives with his husband, an educator from Puerto Rico. He was a longtime chair of the Legislative Progressive Caucus of the Florida House before losing re-election in 2022 to Republican Susan Plasencia in a newly redrawn district. Millions were spent to defeat him. Now Guillermo Smith serves as a senior policy advisor for Equality Florida as he seeks a return to the state capital. He spoke to LGBTQ Nation and talked about young people in Florida taking the state by storm, whether it will be showing up at school board meetings, open to going to Tallahassee to fight for their rights, or engaging in the political forum, he said. Their hope gives him hope. Talking about DeSantis' war on Disney and his mean-spirited provocations as governor, he said, DeSantis is an unrepentant authoritarian with a fragile ego. He said, America lives and breathes democratic values and everyone has the right to free speech, and that's why he thinks Disney will prevail in the battle. When asked about the favorite parts of representing Floridians, he said that it is really about reminding everyone that there is still hope for Florida and that we can still elect folks who care about people. I mean, from his mouth to God's ears, and I'm an atheist. Anyways, but I mean, I think I met Carlos once 1,000 years ago when I dabbled with Equality Florida back in the day, and he's a really nice guy. Anyways, so I'm really encouraged that, I mean, he should be running in a relatively blue district, so that gives me hope. And secondly, I think it is really important to remind people that there is still a fight. We can still fight for the state. This is not, we are not a lost cause yet. I know some people look at Texas, look at Mississippi, they look at like, oh, there's a lost cause now. The state politics is now full red. We are never going to reclaim it. But we need to, please do not give up, because when you give up, you basically give up Broward County, you basically give up Orange County. They're going to be overrun by people who hate you. They're going to be ruled by the people. They're going to be ruled by people who hate you, who want to diminish you. And so we cannot give up on it. Go out and vote, register to vote, etc., etc., etc.
Like Bobby said, from Carlos Guillermo Smith's mouth to the goddess's ears, may it be so.
Yeah. Aren't you an atheist also?
Also.
So I think it would be really cool if he can win this, because didn't the state redraw the districts and the maps in order to prevent people like him from winning?
Yes.
So it would be really cool if he won and just could give the old kinky boots, I like your term, the big middle finger.
Just as a point of information, I do follow him on Twitter. I am dead naming Twitter. I'm allowed to dead name Twitter. But I'm sorry. I feel like he's holding back. I think he needs to let his inner drag queen out and tell us how he really feels.
We say that and I've met Carlos several times. Whenever I'm at a political convention or something like that for Democrats, obviously, he's the one I seek out. Not only is he super friendly and so relatable and just loving for our community, he also knows how to get things done. He's really good. And when we say he lost re-election, I disagree with that. He wasn't up for re-election. His district was so drawn for a reason. Like, his house was like on the border of his, so like his old district was gone, and now he was in this really red district that he still. They still had to spend millions to defeat him for this one House seat in one state where they've already got a supermajority. And that's how much they fear him. That's how much they fear us. Because they know we can be a political force. The Republicans and the fascists are a bully force, but we can be a political force. And there's no one better to help lead the state forward than Carlos. And I will tell you this, and you you talked about Mississippi being a lost cause and all this other stuff. Since we've elected one Democrat to statewide office since 2012, and that was Nikki at Agriculture.
Nikki Fried.
Yeah. But since we've elected her on or around then, Kentucky has elected a Democratic governor.
True.
Twice.
True.
Alabama sent a Democrat to the Senate. Special elections here and there have gone our way for Congress seats and things like that in these southern states. Right. So there are no lost causes. There are no lost causes. We may still lose more than we win in some places, but that's okay because we're still going to win. We're still going to be able to sit there and be a thorn in their side, whether it's on the floor of the Senate, whether it's on the floor of the State House, whether it's on the steps of the State House. We are going to be there. We're going to shout. We're going to demand our rights. And if you don't listen, we're going to vote.
I feel like that was your Winston Churchill moment.
That was a very good manifesto, but I just want to add one short thing, is that gay folks, please, we need to support our women. The abortion amendment, the pro-abortion amendment is now officially, supposedly qualified with enough signatures to go on a ballot. Right. In other words, unless, Tallahassee.
Yeah, they're going to fight. They're going to fight the language. They're going to fight the language.
They're going to try to keep it off the ballot, but I don't think they can. It's going to show up on 2024. And if that is the case, then we need to support all our female members of the community or the women to make sure that we show up and vote for that amendment and support them so that they can support us.
And as long as we're talking about supporting women, and please somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but Debbie Mucarsel Powell is running against Senator Skeletor.
Yeah.
So we need to support her.
Well, if she, we still have to get out of the primary.
I agree, but
we've got to get her out of the primary. She didn't do well in her district, vote-wise. I mean, so we've got to see.
She's the only one I've heard of running.
Yes, she is the only one. She announced early so she can get ahead and get some name recognition. If you win the nomination, God bless you. I'm just saying, let's let the primary season play out because there are a lot of talented people, women especially, in Florida in the Democratic Party. So I agree with you, but we should keep an eye out for. But let's let the primary process play out. I think it's going to be a very contentious 2024.